Hello and welcome to another Naughty Egg Draw. I'm your lovely host Jake, and today we'll be heading to Northrend, the coldest part of Azeroth, to meet the only king I care about. That's right, we're going to be drawing the Lich King from World of Warcraft, so how about we grab our parkas and our jackets and get on with this. So starting off strong, I forgot to hit the record button for the first half of this sketching process, but nonetheless, here is the basic layout for my Lich King drawing. Nothing crazy, just a close-up shot of him screaming at some noobs.
Let's do this, Leroy Dragons!
Now, if any of you out there have played World of Warcraft, you know who the Lich King is. For those who haven't ever played WoW, here's a quick idea of who he is. The Lich King was created from the spirit of ner'zhul that was trapped within a rune blade named Frostmourne. The spirit of ner'zhul merged with a human prince named Arthas, where, long story short, Arthas became the Lich King himself. I mean, just look at him. Now that is just a quick breakdown of who he is, so don't attack me in the comments if you know the Lich King story like the back of your hand, because I know the story of the Lich King is much more in depth than that. But I'm not here to teach you guys everything about WoW, but what I am here to do today is to show you how I created my drawing of the Lich King. So the way I normally like to go about making drawings like this that are gonna have a bit more detail, like this one will, I like to lay down the base colors throughout the piece so that I can layer everything much like you would if you were painting on a real canvas with oil paints. I just find a couple colors to block out the sections of shadows and highlights. The reason I do it like this is because it really helps me with the blending process that I use when making paintings in Photoshop. This process is something you'll see a lot in this video, but all I really do is alt-click in areas between where the two meet, and I keep doing this over and over to change the color that I'm using to give myself a strong gradient to work over. And this is something that works well if you're using a tablet with good pressure sensitivity, because you can pick very dark and very light colors, and depending on how hard you press, you can really give yourself a lot of control with the colors. So the main reason I got the inspiration to draw the Lich King is because he lives in a frozen tundra, and well, it already looks like this in my neck of the woods. And the Lich King is just awesome, and who wouldn't want to draw a cool armor-wearing dude who controls hordes of zombie warriors? I know I do. Now I'm just gonna finish getting all the base colors in here, and I'll be back in just a bit. Now once I have all the basic groundworks and gradients down on my drawing, I like to at this point go in with almost black and white colors to really push the depth of this drawing. Adding these more crisp shadows and highlights will give your image a more realistic feel. Now this is the point where a lot of beginning artists won't want to continue because they're really liking how everything is starting to look, and they don't want to ruin what they already have going for the picture. I know I struggled with this when I first started getting really into art school. I was already loving the piece, and what if I messed it all up and it starts to look bad? Something one of my professors told me really helped me get past this, and I'll say it for you if you are a person that's in this stage of drawing. And what he told me was, you can never learn what a mistake is in your art until you make it. Take the leap, and sometimes you'll even amaze yourself sometimes. Now this is really strong and it really helped me grow as an artist. Sometimes you can take a drawing too far and ruin the entire piece, but you'll end up learning where that mark of too far is by doing this. Now with that being said, this was in a traditional painting class, and it is a little harder to fix mistakes when you're painting on a canvas because you don't have that trusty Ctrl-Alt-Z with your paintbrush. But even with the ability to undo digitally, you can still take something too far, and you can only undo so many times in Photoshop. But don't let that idea scare you. Always push yourself and you'll always get better with your art. Well, that got serious real fast with me just telling you why I was adding darker details to the drawing, so that's the end of my lecture. Now to talk about the part of the drawing I was dreading because it's something I always hate drawing, and that's the hair. And the biggest thing to remember with hair is to have a very loose hand when you're making it. Long hair especially. Hair doesn't fall in a rigid manner, so if you draw your lines with a very stiff stroke, the hair will almost look plastic-like, and we don't want that. So to help me think less about keeping things loose, I like to put the hair on its own layer at first, and then just go back and erase the parts that overlay the existing drawing. Now I did make the mistake of not laying down my base color on the shoulder piece earlier in this drawing. The reason that this is a mistake is that after I lay down all the base colors of everything, I merge my sketch layer with my base colors and then I work over all of it. Well, I ended up merging everything earlier, so it made the process of making these shoulder pieces a little more annoying because I had to flip back and forth in the layers more. But it's just a minor mistake that only costs you a couple minutes. But I don't have a whole lot left to draw, so stick around to see the finished piece. I promise it's worth the wait. Alright everyone, that is it. Prince Arthas in all of his glory. I'm honestly in love with this piece right now. And if you ever played WoW, let me know what you guys think down below on how this turned out. And if you didn't play it, let me know what you think as well. If you have any other awesome armor wearing cool guys from video games, let me know down below which ones you'd maybe want to see me draw in the future. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video till the end. If you haven't yet, make sure you smack that sub button and hit that little bell button so you guys know when I'm posting these videos. But like always, keep drawing, and until next time, bye!